Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Skarlett, lead vocalist for Skarlett Riot, to the program tonight. How are you, Skarlett?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing quite well, getting a little late in the evening over on the other side of the pond, as they say, where you are.
Yeah, it's 9:30 now.
You guys have an album coming out. Now, the release date is set for July 5th, correct? Am I reading the numbers right?
It's May the 7th.
May the 7th. I've got them reversed. Okay. May the 7th. Sorry about that. I
No,
wondered,
that's cool.
and that was sort of a dumb question, because if it was coming out in July, why would you be doing interviews now, correct?
No, it does get confusing, doesn't it? With the numbers are always swapped around, aren't they, between UK and US?
Yeah, and I looked at it twice, and I'm thinking, maybe I'm seeing this wrong, but no, it makes total sense now. Okay, new album coming out May 7th, now that I've made a total fool of myself. Decibels Records. Help me with the pronunciation of the title of the album.
It's Invicta.
Invicta, which is Latin for undefeated or unconquered, correct?
That's right.
And that was what you were going for?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about how you came up with that title for the album, and the cover art is fascinating as well.
Yeah, so the album was written about the last 10 years of the band, really. I mean, we've been going for over 10 years now, and it's about the struggles that we face together and individually, whether it's been physically or mentally. And the album's pretty much about how, we've come from quite a small town in the UK, and we fought ourselves up. We've not had any help or anything, so we're fighting to be heard. We're like, hey, you might not have heard of us, but listen to us, because I think you'll like us. And it's been a lot of that over the years, and really pushing our way to, you're a needle in a haystack. There's so many bands out there who want the same thing, and you're fighting to get people to listen to you and actually believe in what you do. So yeah, that's what the album is generally about. And I think the word Invicta, being undefeated and unconquered, that that's how we feel as a band. We've not given up, and we're still going strong now, and we've still got each other's backs over the years. And yeah, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time, and you've got to have the passion there to keep pushing year in and year out.
Yeah, very much so. How about the cover art? Who had the concept for that? Was that one of your drawings or someone else, or?
No, not one of mine. It was there's a lady called Christiane Robinson, and she's on our guitarist's Facebook, and we were just scrolling through one day, and she'd done some art for someone else, and we thought, hey, she's really good. And it kind of fit in with the Regenerate artwork that we already had, but just looked a little bit more, how can you put it, a bit crisper. And it looked like she could do something that would step us up from our previous artwork with Regenerate. So yeah, she come up with the design. We just gave her like the idea. We wanted to symbolize, obviously there's the person coming up with like a strong stance there, and they're appearing up from the demons trying to drag that person below, but they're rising up above those demons. And I think that really does represent like the whole image of the album and the whole idea.
Nice. I also like the Skarlett Riot logo, just the way the logo looks. I think it's very strong. Was that something you came up with, or somebody else came up with the actual Skarlett Riot logo?
Yeah, someone else came up with the Skarlett Riot logo. That was Uncanny Designs in the UK. She's done a lot of our t-shirt designs in the past, so a lot of our merchandise on our website is created by her. But she actually come up with it a fair few years ago now, and she draws by hand, so she actually come up with it by drawing it to make it like unique, so it wasn't like a particular font or anything. And we just kind of told her what we were after, just something to represent that kind of rock and metal image, but not have it too wild, because you know, the heavier the band gets, I noticed that their logos just end up non-readable and they're very
Yeah.
squeaky.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of sticks, you know, stuff
That's
with
it.
now band wise, of course you're still doing the vocals, Danny on guitars, Luke on drums, and Tim is a relative new guy on bass.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, came along in about 2019.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's our newest bass player, and he's dead excited with Invicta because it's the first music that he's actually had a stamp on writing. So he's not just playing music that our old bass player had written. He's actually now going to be able to play live what he's written.
Very cool. And he provided some pretty excellent vocals as well.
Yeah. He's always been able to do like these really cool, powerful, strong growls. And he said, I don't have to put them in the stuff if you don't want. I was like, it's too good to ignore. Put them in there. So, with songs like Gravity, we gave him a whole verse section to just show off and go wild.
Yeah, it was cool. So all four of you contribute in the writing then. You said Tim had done some of the music. I take it Danny and Luke as well. And of course you're in there in the mix as well. All four of you have contributed to the writing on the album?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dan, he writes a lot of it. All these songs start off with his guitar riffs and his melody. So like the foundations there are always Dan, really. He does, like, he wrote Stronger as well. So even the lyrics and the vocal melody, that's the first song that I've actually let somebody else write for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just come out. It already like started penciling in the lyrics, and it got like a melody in his head. And I said, that's really good. Don't change it. I'll let you have that one, and I'm happy to sing it. So, and for me, it takes a lot of trust for me to let somebody else do my section, which I really enjoy doing. And it was the first time where I was like, actually, I can't fault that. I'm happy to sing that, and let you have that song. So, but yeah, we all individually do our bit. Like Dan will do a guitar riff, and then he'll take it to Luke on drums, and then they'll develop it together. And I tend to put my lyrics and melody over the top once the instrumentals are all down.
Awesome. Took you about 3 years to record this. Obviously, the last year, it's everyone's sort of lost year, was it planned to take this long, or did the pandemic play into things, or how did the timing all work out with everything?
Yeah, so after Regenerate come out in 2017, it just seemed to kick off quite well for us, and we were touring off the back of Regenerate for a good couple of years, and it was brilliant. I mean, we rounded it up with a headline in 2019, and that's where we cut off the touring circuit for Regenerate. So we were on the road for a good couple of years off the back of that album. So from the headline tour in 2019, we said, right, okay, let's start writing. Let's get this album ready now, because it's been a long time. And then when we were finally ready to go record it in March 2020, literally the day after was when it come on the news that we were all locking down.
Right.
So we got kicked straight out the studio, and we couldn't go back in until August, which was when we were allowed back in, but individually and not together. So the Invicta was actually recorded so like disjointed. We had drums first, and no one was allowed to go in with our drummer. And he did his parts, and when he was done, bass was called in. And then when he was done, guitars were called in, and like I couldn't see any of the band. And usually we spend a good month together.
Yeah.
Like even if it's just like playing Xbox or watching Netflix and recording, but the whole experience of it just gives the vibe in the studio. But this time around, we didn't have any of that, and we had to record our parts and get out. So yeah, the pandemic definitely played a big part in delaying the album by a year. Otherwise it would have been out September last year.
Okay. 11 tracks, clocks in at right around 50 minutes. I got an advanced copy. I listened to it on my way home from work yesterday. Awesome stuff. Wanted to break down a few of the songs. Right on track one, Breaking the Habit. I love the panning effect in the beginning of that song. And what a heavy, heavy riff and everything. Did you have that in mind to open the album when it came to sequencing? You know, did you pay a lot of attention to that?
No, I mean, when it comes to actually ordering the songs, we tend to put that in last. And Breaking the Habit, we just got the production in there. But we thought after a while, this song's got to open the album. That intro is really cool.
Yeah.
So then like more production got added to it to make it like more of an opening track. But yeah, that is one of my favorite songs off the album, actually.
Yeah, great tune. Gravity, track two, you got a video out. Where was that shot? That like it looked like you were in like an old church or a ruin or something?
Yeah, we were in like an old church in the UK, and it's like all broken down. So it's actually apparently meant to be like a haunted chapel sort of church, and but yeah, it was all open, and I just remember it pouring with rain
Uh-huh.
at one point, and then our power generators went down.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was quite a long day. It was one of those days where like nothing quite went right, but then once it all started to come together, it was super cool.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people because it was a public space. There's a lot of people watching and filming us do the
Huh.
music video, and it's like they had a little private show. They were just stood watching, filming, and then coming to talk to us afterwards. So it's as if we kind of sold a few albums while we were there.
Yeah,
Sort of thing.
exactly.
It was
Sort of
quite
like
good.
a video release party, you know, only you're watching the
Yeah,
video being made. That's awesome.
that's it. Yeah.
I love the sci-fi elements to that as well. You know, the stuff floating around. It immediately made me think. I just picked up on this show. I'm watching it on NBC called Debris. Um,
Okay.
it's where this UFO or something breaks up and comes in the atmosphere, and there's all kinds of funky stuff going on. So it sort of reminded me of that. Where does the sci-fi element to everything come from? I mean, other than the song obviously being named Gravity, you know?
Yeah, so we wanted, because obviously we're releasing the songs through a pandemic, we didn't want the song to just be another performance video, just a band playing a song. We wanted it to be a little bit more exciting than that. And so we started looking for someone who studied in special effects, and we, you know, with obviously the gravity elements, we wanted something that kind of visually was quite stunning to the eye, but also really added power to the track. So obviously the chorus, you've got the lyrics of knocking down the walls and been your own gravity, and a lot of strength and power in the song. So we wanted some elements in there that really represented that, and just made the song look more powerful with the video.
Yeah.
So we found like a special effects guy within the UK, and so after we filmed the music video side of things, the video was then sent off to digitally to the special effects guy to then edit and add in the special touches. So the video took quite a long time to get back to us, because obviously then you've got two people working on it. You've got one person editing the actual performance and the colors and putting it all together, and then you've got the other person like editing things to go in it. So, but it was definitely worth the wait. I think it turned out really well, just a little
Yeah.
bit different to our other videos.
Very cool. Yeah, yeah, great video. Track four, Underwater. Total rip your face off riff right there. And that middle breakdown section is awesome. You know, after the pummeling that you take in the beginning with this song, and then just to have a little bit of a space to breathe was awesome. How did that one come together?
So that was like one of the first songs that we wrote for the album as well. And I think we recorded that one individually, like 2019, end of 2019, I think we went in to record that song along with Human. So it was one of the first ones that we'd recorded for the album.
Okay.
And we spent a lot of time on it. Like as you can hear with the end bit with the violins and the piano sections, there's a lot of different dynamics going on within the song.
Yeah.
And we wanted something like a really epic ending, something that we'd not done before. So we were kind of playing around with all these different violin sounds and strings and how they like complement each other.
Yeah.
And but also, yeah, that screaming section there, that it's the most screaming on the whole album that I do. And I hadn't been screaming very long when I went into the studio to do it. Like, I'd only learned it a few months back, and I was so nervous recording those screams because I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna have a go. But it turned out well, and I do love that track, and we may be planning something for that track.
Very cool. Very cool. You've also got a lyric video out for track 5, Stronger, which I really, really liked. Great message there, sort of going along with the whole undefeated, unconquered theme. Is that
that's right. It's it was kind of written as well about not feeling inferior to other people. So no matter what path in life you take, just because someone else might have a different idea of life for them, a different direction, it doesn't make them better than you or someone better than the other just because they have these materialistic things, or you think they have a better life because of this and this. So yeah, it was kind of written about that, equality and not belittling other people and each other, because we're all on this planet together, and no matter how we choose to spend it shouldn't define whether we feel someone's better than the other person.
Absolutely, I agree. Track 6, Cut the Ties, please pass this along to Danny. I am a guitar solo guy, and his solo in that song blew me away. I thought that was a fantastic solo.
Oh, he'd be really happy to hear that, because he doesn't tend to put many solos in our stuff, because he's very much one where he likes to compliment the song. So he doesn't like to show off too much. He likes to feel like, I'll put a solo in if I feel that's where it's going and like it needs a solo. I don't want to just throw one in to say, I'm going to throw a solo in there because I can, because, so it is one of the songs on the album that has a solo in it. And he does it really well. I think he needs a bit of an encouragement to do it a bit more.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree. Track 7, Into Pieces, longest track on the album, clocking in at just 1 second under 6 minutes. I'll tell you, this song really, really touched me. Like I said, I was listening to it on a drive home. I'd been driving for a while. I was a little tired. Just pulled off the interstate onto a side road. There were some gray clouds, a little bit of a wind blowing, and it just fit the ambience of the song, the scenery that I was seeing. And I'm listening to you sing, and I'm listening to these lyrics, and I'm like, my God, what a personal song this appears to be. Is it from a personal experience or just something you were writing? Or this one, really my favorite track on the album?
Oh, thank you. I've actually had a couple of people say that, which is so nice, because it was a personal experience of mine, and the song also, with it being the longest track on the album, it also took so long to write because we're not used to writing really slow songs. We're used to hard and heavy, and we were like, no, this album, it's got to have something really nice dynamically that's different, that people wouldn't expect. So we cracked the acoustics out, and we came up with this, and we actually did some of the writing, like arranging the parts in the studio, because there's a lot of elements of production that bring it together. But yeah, I wrote the song lyrically about like an experience a couple of years ago I had, and I had to go into hospital for an operation, and I went through quite a hard time with it, and I had a problem with my jaw, and I didn't know if I would be able to sing again, and I got into quite like a dark place about it. But then now I've overcome it, and you've got to move on and pick yourself up. So it was kind of written like how I feel now and about the experience then, and just trying to move on and pick up the pieces and carry on. So, but yeah, it's very personal to me. So it's gonna be a good one live. Definitely gonna have all the feels there and all the lighters out.
Yeah, very cool. Yep, absolutely. I don't want to give them all away, but I'll just tell you the two words that I used to describe track 8, Not Alone, was silk savagery was what I used. I mean, there's parts of that are just really savage, and then other parts that are, you know, harmonies and stuff. It's, you know, silk and steel, I guess, is another way I would describe it. Fantastic
Thank
track.
you.
Is there any one of these songs on this album that you can't wait to break out live? You know, what you know, if you could pick maybe one or two that you're like, man, I can't wait till we can hit the stage and I can play this live.
I really like the track Black Cloud. Like, I think
Mhm.
it's got quite a catchy chorus there, and but it's also got like some backing growls on it. But the verses are very like commercial as well. And I absolutely love like pop, rock, and metal, and I feel this track like combines all three together. It could be like a commercial song, but also still like a metal song.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine everybody singing it along live as well with all the lyrics in it and stuff. So yeah, definitely Black Cloud.
Yeah, that was a great track. Now you talk about how you like the pop metal and stuff like that. It's exactly where I was going to go. I usually try and dig up stuff from people's past to ask them about. You were a bit of a mystery. I couldn't find a whole ton from your early developmental stages, other than you started singing when you were 13, and you were into like Avril Lavigne. Then you moved on to like Shinedown and Disturbed. Were you singing from like an early age? Did you take chorus like in school and that? What got you started on this path?
Well, I started singing when I was about 12, and I decided, like you say, from Avril Lavigne, looking at the music channels, I thought, you know, this is cool. She's cool. I'd love to learn to sing and play guitar. So then I started vocal lessons, and I had them for about a couple of years, just learning about singing and playing guitar. And then after that, I just self-taught. But I entered a couple of singing competitions at school, just small ones.
Yeah.
And I sung Alanis Morissette, Ironic, and I actually won that competition at school. And I think winning that gave me like the confidence then. And I started to believe in myself a bit more, thinking, oh, maybe I'm all right. Maybe I'm not too bad at singing. People think I'm okay.
Yeah.
So from there, that actually, I think that gave me like a bit of a push to want to start a band and do something more with it. So I think that history there of just having some vocal lessons to learn the basics, and then winning that little competition at school just gave me that push to start the band. And from there, like, I met a guitarist at school, and we just formed a covers band to start with. So going around in the pubs and clubs. And at the time, my drummer was about 11, and we were like sneaking him into all the pubs because you had to be over 18. So yeah, we started off just doing covers, like pop and rock covers. And then we thought, actually, why don't we start writing our own music? And that's how Skarlett Riot developed from there.
I was going to say, was the cover and the pop stuff back in the Fusion days?
It was, yes.
Yeah, very cool. That's very cool. 11-year-old drum. Well, I've seen some of the videos though from like when some of the early videos of interviews of you when you were in Skarlett Riot. You were fairly young when this band became Skarlett Riot, weren't you? You didn't look that old.
Yeah. Probably about 14, 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Was there ever any type of plan B, any fallback plan if the music didn't start, or was it I'm gonna do music?
It was, yeah, always music. And like, I think I've always lived and breathed it, and it's good to have a backup for sure, because, you know, I think as well, when you're so young, 15, 16, and you just think, well, I'm seeing all these pop artists on the music channels, and like by the time they're 18, they're famous and away we go. Yeah, that'll be me.
Yeah.
And obviously, as time goes on, you realize it's not as easy as that. And it takes time and years to build, and you're a needle in a haystack. But as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's the main thing when it comes down to it. Enjoying the music that you're playing and giving other people enjoyment. So there's never really been a plan B, but I mean, I do pet portrait drawings, so I absolutely love drawing, and that's like my go-to for my downtime as well. So you've obviously got all the hecticness of the band, like touring, and it's so busy and loud and noisy. And then when I get home, I like to get my pencils out and just draw.
Yeah, there you go. You've done a lot of touring, played a lot of shows with a lot of different people. Have you met anyone yet or shared stage with anybody yet that has left you sort of awestruck? How it's like, how is this happening to me?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really thought Butcher Babies were really good. We toured with them, and they're super tight and they just blew me away. And we toured with Cobra and the Lotus, and I just think they're really down to earth and lovely people, which is nice. Sumo Psycho, absolutely love sharing the stage with them. I mean, they're super energetic as well. But like Camelot, we supported them just on one show in London a fair few years back, but I remember like being stood with my mouth open, like, these are so tight. Like, they don't miss a note. Vocally is amazing. And that show definitely sticks in my head as one of my favorites, just to feel like starstruck by him.
Awesome. Talking with Skarlett here from Skarlett Riot. Their new album Invicta will be out May 7th on Despo's Records. Website is www.skarlettriot.co.uk. Do I have that right?
That's right.
Okay. Check everything out on there, and I would imagine the album's going to be available everywhere. Are you guys going to be selling it from a Bandcamp site or a website or anything where people could buy it directly from you? I like to point people there first before the other outlets.
Well, we have got our website. I'm not 100% sure whether we'll be selling through our site yet, or whether it'll stay on our labels. But it's also for fans all over. If you don't want to buy from the label, which is Swedish, then it will be on like Amazon.com if you like a physical CD. So it should be on USA websites, as well as UK and European, as well as hopefully in some shops too. And if you like digital downloads, it'll be available worldwide on Spotify and Apple Music.
Nice. Skarlett, I always like to end with just some fun questions, silly stuff. I'm hoping in all these hours of interviews, nobody's asked you any of these questions. Sound good?
That sounds good.
If you could pick a television show to have a Skarlett Riot song placed in, what show would you pick?
Oh. American Horror Story.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. If you could blink and appear anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
Right now, I would love to go to Iceland or Switzerland.
Very cool. Choice of household chores, dishes or laundry?
I don't mind doing the dishes. I quite like the hot water.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Very, very therapeutic. Put on some music and just do the dishes. Is there a clothing style that is currently out of fashion that you would like to see come back into fashion?
No, I don't know if you remember them, but there was these like cargo pants at one point.
Yeah.
And they had like they were called octopus trousers, and they had like dangly string from them. And I used to wear them in the 90s, and I used to trip up the stairs in them. And there's like just these dangly pieces of string from your cargo pants, like an octopus. I don't know if you've seen them.
I think I remember them. Yeah. Yeah. Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Oh, it's my favorite toy. I had a Lion King Simba teddy. I used to take it everywhere. Okay. And like I think he's probably still around in the loft somewhere, but he got cuddled that much, cuddled to death, that like he just ended up really bobbly and like uncuddleable.
If you could go back in time and eat one of your mom's home cooked meals from your childhood, what would you have her make?
I love a homemade lasagna. I don't think you can beat that. One of my favorites.
Okay. Is there something you've always wanted to learn, but have never either had the time or just never done it?
I mean, I've always wanted some form of like dancing lessons, whether it was like, I mean, it'd be really cool to do like pole dancing. I think that is really, really something that interests me, but it's just never something I've actually done.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Last one. This is the one we have the most fun with. If they were to make a biopic of your life, what actress would you pick to play you? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
Kate Beckinsale, definitely. I just think that she's super good actress. She doesn't age either. She's just like hot all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Skarlett, is there any questions I didn't ask you? Is there anything you didn't get to talk about? Something you had hoped I had asked, or you could say in this interview that we didn't cover? The floor is yours for the moment.
No, don't. I mean, I think we've covered quite a lot. It's been great. I just want to take the time to say thank you for listening and supporting us. And we hope that everybody loves Invicta out on the 7th of May.
All right, and we look forward to things hopefully getting back to normal more sooner than later, so you guys can get out to perform and we can get out to watching you perform.
Oh, fingers crossed. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much, Skarlett, for your time. This has been a blast. Good luck. I wish you best of luck and success in the future with everything. And hopefully we'll chat again sometime soon.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.